charcoal snake is one of the best ways to get precise, low and slow temperatures for a long period of time. But how long can it last on the Weber 26-inch? In this video, I'll explain what a charcoal snake is, how to build one, and why you should make one. And more importantly, how long can a charcoal snake burn on this 26-inch Weber kettle? Let's find out if it's worth the extra setup time. Building the snake is very easy. First, let's dump a chimney of unlit briquettes and start stacking. I'm going to be using Kingsford Professional. You'll want to set them up by placing each briquette next to each other like so. I'll slowly build out a row, then another row right alongside of it. A charcoal snake is a stacked chain of charcoal briquettes that go around the diameter of your kettle. They should resemble a stacked dominoes that have been knocked over. It can vary in length and thickness. Thickness is going to determine the heat level, and the length is going to determine, well, how long it runs. This is how much one chimney of charcoal get us. Let's fill another chimney of charcoal and keep building. I will not be dumping this charcoal into the kettle since I don't want to knock over any of our work. But let's keep building. And then put 2 additional rows on top. 2 lines of charcoal at the bottom and 2 on top makes for a 2 by 2 snake thickness. Our snake is complete. This is what 2 chimneys of charcoal look like once it's been stacked into a snake. It looks kind of cute, doesn't it? Many people think that dumping their charcoal into the kettle and then lighting up a few charcoal is the only way to achieve low and slow temperatures. But the charcoal snake is a much better method. It provides very precise temperatures and a hands-off cooking experience. Not having to make big adjustments or do any charcoal refills for a long time makes the cooking process much easier. I was going to just light and then time it, but it seems like such a waste of charcoal, right? Luckily, I have this pork shoulder that I'll be cooking. Plus, with the actual meat in the grill, it's going to give us a more accurate time of how long this charcoal snake is going to last. I score the fat on this bone-in pork butt, and then I season it with a pork rub. Season all sides with a nice helping of the pork rub, and let it sit while we start up the grill. Let's light one end with a starter cube. I put some wood chunks over the snake to add additional smoke flavor. I also place an aluminum pan in the center to catch the fatty drippings. I will put some hot water in there to help regulate temperatures and to add moisture to the kettle. Cover the kettle and let it come up to temperature. Once one of the ends is lit, it has a very consistent burn that's going to run unmonitored for hours. 15 minutes later, it looks like we hit 225. So let's start cooking our pork butt. Let's place on our temperature probe to monitor internal temperatures. And one thing I will point out is just how much space you get with the 26-inch Weber kettle. The pan in the center fits perfectly, and I don't have to worry about rotating the meat to keep it off the fire. A big plus. All right, let's cover. And I'm very curious to see how long this snake of 2 chimneys worth of charcoal is going to last. This pork butt has gone undisturbed for 6.5 hours. It's looking really good. The snake is burning really well. It doesn't matter how many times I do the snake, I'm always amazed of how consistent the kettle runs once it gets going. Let's close the lid and check again in a few hours. It's been 2 hours, and as you can see, it's near the tail end of the snake. If I were to guess, this still has about another hour or so to go before it goes out. The pork shoulder has hit the stall. Before I lose more light and have this cook go way into the night, I'm going to call an audible with the cook. But first, let's discuss the results so far. For 2 charcoal chimneys of Kingsford Professional, you can get roughly 9.5 hours of burn time. So I'm going to admit, I was expecting it to go a lot longer than 9.5 hours. I think experimenting with charcoal brands might give me longer burning times. Also, my stacking wasn't as tight. If I were to stack them in tighter, I would have been able to fit more charcoal and it probably would have lasted a little longer. Okay, the bright side, well, 9.5 hours is definitely long enough to start the night before, get your 8 hours of beauty rest before having to wake up in the morning to add additional charcoal and finish off the cook. In all honesty, 9 hours on the grill running all by itself is really not a bad deal. Now back to our cook. As you can guess, at this point in time, in order to speed things up, I'm just gonna wrap the pork shoulder with some foil. I could easily put this in the oven to finish the cook since it's not going to absorb any more smoke. But to keep the experiment going, I'm also going to extend the snake to show you that yes, it is possible to get even more cooking time. Just in case 9 hours wasn't enough, I'm stacking another chimney with the charcoal here, which should get us another half circle. Extending the snake is very easy, but be sure to do it before the temps decrease a little bit too much. Once the snake has been extended, let's close the lid and check on it in a few hours. All right, it's been 3 hours. There's still enough charcoal to keep the grill going for maybe another 90 minutes or so. But this pork shoulder is probing really tender, and it's hit an internal temperature of 201 degrees. So let's remove, let it rest for a few hours, and then pull. As you can see, it pulled wonderfully, and we're ready to enjoy some delicious pulled pork. Now, what do you think? Is 9 hours enough for 2 full chimneys worth of charcoal? Are you surprised with the results? Or did you want me to do this again? Perhaps with a brisket, or trying out a different brand of charcoal? Let me know what I should try next on the Weber 26-inch. And if you enjoy videos like this, please give us a like and a subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Now, it's time to enjoy some pulled pork.